Okay, so here's a wild thought. What if the reason that so many people feel broke today is not about how much we earn, but more so about how we've been trained to spend? Because the truth is, Americans carry over $1.3 trillion in credit card debt, and that is the highest in history. And so we owe more, we save less, and yet we keep getting sold the idea that spending will actually keep the economy strong. But what if that strength is built on our burnout? From self-care hauls to these daily Amazon drops, we have been sold the idea that consumption is confidence, and it is quickly draining out our wallets and our peace. So stick around, because in just a few minutes, we're going to unpack exactly how this toxic consumerism keeps people broke, how it shapes the entire US economy, and why even your girl math might not be as harmless as you think it is. Let's start with the symptoms, because people are saying it loud and clear that we are tired of spending.
How many of you have gotten to the point in life where you just don't want to buy stuff anymore? Sometimes I feel like going shopping just like because I have an itch to shop, and there's not one thing that I end up buying. Like, I just have so much. I feel like I've overconsumed my whole life. I grew up with a mom that loves to shop, so I also love to shop. But I've gotten to the point now where it doesn't bring me joy or happiness anymore. I get so overwhelmed with everything that I have in my house already. So like, I just stopped liking to shop, liking to buy things.
Have you guys ever gotten to that place where you're like, okay, I have money, I got a little $20, I want to see if I could find something to buy, just to I don't know, just for some kind of, just for that dopamine rush, right? So you go into a store and you're looking and you're trying your best to find something that you could leave with, something that will give you a little bit more happiness leaving and knowing that it's a new item that you've got added to your collection. And you can't find anything. That's the most frustrating thing ever. I've noticed that before. When I had a little extra money, so I decided to go into one of my favorite places, Burlington, right? They have just a wide variety of different things. So I tried every department in that store. I tried the skincare, I tried the handbags, the sandals, the shoes, even the clothing, which I don't really care too much for. The home deco, the cooking supplies, the little snack area. I could not find anything, not even at the checkout lane where, you know, that long lane, that long line that you have to stand on. And as you're standing there, they are just very plainly advertising things for you to look at, to pick up while you're waiting on that line to move. I couldn't find anything. So I was so frustrated. I ended up leaving without anything, but I did feel better that I didn't spend just on impulse. But that's so frustrating, isn't it?
For a few years, I was like into like the farmhouse chic stuff in my house, and there was just a lot of stuff all over. And one day I woke up and I was like, I cannot handle this anymore. Took everything down. My house is like super minimalist now. I have a basement full of crap that I need to go through. And sometimes I just, for like a stress reliever, want to go shopping, and I just get so sad that there's literally nothing that I want to buy anymore. And I'm wondering if that has to do with getting older. I just don't want stuff anymore, or I'm no longer like wanting to keep up with the Joneses. I want to know how everybody else is feeling. If you're in your 40s, have you gotten to that point yet?
Well, I'm not in my 40s. But I could absolutely agree with what she said. Like, I feel like when I was still in school trying to dress to impress and fit in and look cool and create some kind of image, I felt like that was the time that I would spend my money and my parents' money. But that was more so of the time that I was more of a consumerist. But since I started basically being an adult, having my own bills, I started consuming less. And so when we started a family and moved out of New York to a different state, I got rid of a lot of clothing in that process. And then when we decided to move from that state all the way across the country, I let go of more possessions. And so with all of that movement and just kind of dramatic resets that I've had to undergo as far as my possessions, I don't feel like I need as much clothing wise as I used to. Now I can live on a little bit less when it comes to the clothing space. But of course, my big thing is the home deco. But I've been doing better. So when you move and you're constantly decluttering, you kind of get the sense that you don't need as much as you used to. And so adding to that just feels like you're weighing yourself down with more stuff. So she's not alone. When the act of buying stops bringing that comfort, it's not just financial fatigue, but it's more so emotional burnout.
This is going to be controversial, but you cannot convince me that having 75 Stanley cups is normal and not a coping mechanism for something. Or in a wall in every single color, or 35 of those Starbucks reusable cups. This has to be a distraction and a coping mechanism for something. I know we're all adults and we have free will. You're free to use your money however you would like, but I just feel like there's something to unpack there.
I'm not knocking anybody who has collections that they love. That's all cool. I have my own little vices, so I'm not here to shame anybody. But she kind of has a point. Like sometimes we might be trying to deal with something and end up spending money just to kind of either distract ourselves or escapism. I don't know. Something about shopping or spending money has a way of kind of deflecting where we really need to keep our focus on. For many people, that overconsumption and buying so much is kind of a form of coping, not care. So we tend to buy to escape our reality, to fill in the quiet moments, or maybe to feel something when everything else feels just out of reach. And I can honestly say that this is true in my personal life because after a long and overstimulating day, I'm just ready to shut it all down, put the kids to bed early, and just order some takeout. And so that might be my toxic way of coping with things, and I'm trying to do better.
So this article talks about how inflation and economic pressure are forcing people to choose between social connections, hanging out with their friends, and financial stability. But what's sort of happening behind or below the surface for me is that I feel like we've created this culture where friendship has become commodified. Friendships or just hanging out doesn't necessarily have to be synonymous with spending money, but in a lot of cases it has. Take somewhere where I live, like New York City, when you're hanging out with your friends, dinner out, drinks, concerts, along the way, you're spending lots and lots of money just to spend time with your friends. And so through that, friendship has started to become more of a shared financial experience. And this can create, financial anxiety. You're not just worried about money, you're worried about what your financial money situation says about you as a friend, as a person. And that can lead to a shame spiral, right? Like, I can't afford this, so therefore I'm a bad friend, therefore I'm failing in life.
Listen, if you have friends that need you to spend money every time and actually go places and spend all this money all the time just to be able to hang out, those are not your friends. If they don't understand your financial situation or your goal to not be in a financial rut for the rest of your life, and you don't need to be going out all the time and spending money all the time, they're not really on your side. Sometimes the best way to lose friends is to set a goal and stay on that goal, and they'll either meet you in that goal or they'll just decide themselves to kind of exit by themselves. They'll just decide to leave, and they'll just decide based on their perspective and where they're going, whether to join you or to leave you.
But often your friends are probably feeling the exact same pressure, or a lot of them probably are. And I think a lot of people, they want to fit in. They want to signal other people that they can hang out with other people and they're all cool and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people are pretending that they can afford more than they actually can because no one wants to be the first to admit, okay, I can't afford this.
If you have friends that are judging you based on how much you're able to spend, how much you're able to go out and spend money all the time, those are not real friends. Your friends are people who support you, whether they agree or not about where you are in life. Because like she said, we are all dealing with something financially, and it's actually smarter to not go out as much and spend money as much. Not saying that you can't go out to have fun, but if you could find creative ways to save money, maybe do like a kickback or, a movie night, invite people over to watch a movie or something, or game night or something that would not be to where you're spending money on food outside, drinks, concert tickets. These things add up, and it causes even more shame the more that we invest in that cycle, because like she said, we start to feel shame that we're not able to match up with our friends when our friends are probably dealing with the same stress as we are. As you guys can see, as we started this series on the cost of living, a lot of us are out here just trying to make it right now, especially with the economy that we're under and all these different shifts and changes. Nothing is new today, all right? We're all dealing with the same thing. We're all financially trying to work things out and make things work for our families. And even our social lives are paying the price. So people are realizing that every hangout should not come with a receipt. So when inflation hits friendships, you know that we've hit a breaking point.
The reason for most people's struggles is because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. We live in a society that everybody is just trying to outdo one another, when we really should not be living like that, right? We all should be living within our means and staying in our lanes and, congratulating the people that are able, to rise above that or, do more and do better and have more, right? But instead, it's just a constant competition. And will we ever get away from that as a society? I don't think so, especially in the era of social media, because we all have this unhealthy access to people that we never had before, right? So a lot of people, more than ever, are comparing their lives, right, to people that are way, 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 way outside of their own tax bracket, right? And as I say that, I'm not saying you can't use people as motivation to get you to where you want to be, but it becomes an unhealthy obsession with striving for a certain status or financial status. And it has created toxic hustle culture. People used to be able to just have one job, live comfortably, and be content and okay, right? The flashy shit you see on TV, when you turn your TV, you turn that shit off, is gone. But that has correlated into our everyday lives with the people that we know, and everybody trying to outdo one another when it's not necessary at all. And I've always been somebody that's been very modest when it comes to my spending personally, because I had certain milestones for myself that I'm just like, okay, until I have a house, I'm not buying certain designer shit, because to me it just didn't make sense for me, right? If I can't go on X amount of vacations a year, I'm not doing certain things. Like, I always had it in my head that my lifestyle had to match my income. I should not be living way, 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 way above my means, right? And I'm someone that I was doing very well starting in my early 20s, right? So, and my mother bashed financial literacy into my brain. And I guess I have that advantage over people. But it comes to a point where you reach a certain age and the information is all around us. And the reason why so many people are stuck is because they're choosing to be stuck.
She's right. And I find that to be amazing how her mother was able to teach her about financial literacy, because the truth of the matter is a lot of us don't have that same story where we learned how to be smart, how to budget and save or even invest with our money. We didn't learn that at home. We didn't learn it at school. We didn't learn it in our friendship circle. I mean, everything around us was telling us, hey, it's okay to spend. It's fine. And like I mentioned, we didn't learn it in school. So we didn't find that it was necessary to focus on that as much until we became full-fledged out adults. And now we have to kind of catch up and learn what we didn't learn before. So I find that to be amazing how she learned that early. And I love the fact that we live in such a digital age where we can learn what we need to know at just a simple Google of, something that we need to know. We can learn, we can invest into courses if we need to learn a little bit more extensively. We can find information if we need to, and if it's really something we want to learn.
And when it comes to money, I feel like people are just so intimidated by it when it's really not anything to be intimidated by. The sooner you learn how to use money as a tool, which it is a tool, right, the better off you will be. The Black community needs to get away from consumerism, because I really feel like that is holding us back. The amount of money the Black community spends on stuff, I'm going to put emphasis on stuff, has gotten out of hand. It's like out of control. When we know that we drive the U.S. economy, but yet we are a small percentage, they say, right? Because I don't even believe that, but as they say.
And she's absolutely right, because we live in an economy of appearances. The pressure to look okay financially is costing people the chance to actually be okay financially. But this did not just happen overnight. We were actually trained to think this way, and the training actually started decades ago. So roughly 70% of America's GDP comes from consumer spending. So every ad, every sale, every treat yourself post is not just marketing, but it's actually macro policy by design.
All right, y'all, so I'm at the most empty mall in Florida. It's empty as hell. Just look at this. First, the food court. There's literally only 2 food courts that are open. 1, 2. That's it. Look at this. I'm gonna show you guys better like this. Empty. Woo! You can hear my whole echo. I've seen moments when the mall gets pretty empty and stuff like that, but I've never seen it like this, where there's stores that are literally open right now, but nobody. There's just nobody. Just look at this, y'all. Oh, look, there's somebody. I'm surprised. Aeropostale closed. Let me show you guys. This is crazy. All these stores, barely any stores are open. You know, it does make me wonder, how do these malls stay in business? Like, there's no business going on. Literally no business going on. Almost nobody here. And I don't know, like, how is this still running? It makes no sense. How do people still get paid? How do these companies not go out of business? Like, this mall is so dead. Even the Planet Smoothies, the Aeropostales, the Claire's, so many big brands have to close down in this mall just because nobody comes shop here. Like, I know she bored. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is some sad shit, yo. It's the end of the mall. Man, if you were to open up a business here, bankrupt city. Honestly, bruh, I'll bring all my homies here just so we could play tag in this mall. Alright, let's go to the other side of the mall. Hopefully it's not as pathetic. No, still pretty sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this is crazy.
And the escalator keeps on going. Nobody's on it. I just found that to be funny. But I hate this. I mean, even Claire's is always full. Bath and Body Works, always full. And you only have 2 restaurants that are open? Wow.
Like, you look at the elevators, even they don't work. And I guarantee they don't want to put the money to fix it as well, so yeah.
I mean, do you really need to? Nobody's there.
But the one across from me doesn't. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I think downstairs is worse than upstairs. Boom. Close. Out of business. The only store that's open is Zoomies. Look at all these closed stores. Yo, what do you guys think, though? Do you guys think they should just honestly tear down this whole mall and create something new? Because don't nobody care. I feel like I could do anything in this mall, yo.
And
I want to run.
And I have to say, watching this hurts so much because as an early millennial, the mall was everything to me and my friends. And so this man here is right to be confused because malls are empty, stores are closing out, and yet the system still finds ways to profit on that. And that's because retail doesn't need crowds anymore. All it needs now are clicks.
When shopping in a mall is not a cool thing to do anymore. Isn't this crazy? I remember in middle school and high school that we were always at the mall. That was the spot to be. If it wasn't the mall, it was like the roller rink, but it was the mall. This is dead. Online shopping it is, I guess. I just wanted to get some shoes. Hopefully I can find some.
So just seeing this brings me so much nostalgia because the mall used to be like the best place for community, teenagers hanging out, spending money that we got from our parents just to kind of, hang out, have fun with each other, eat greasy burgers. But it's now a place that people are going to get content on just how much of a ghost town it's become. Because our economy has now replaced shared spaces with shopping apps. And so when we stop spending, Wall Street is going to feel it really hard. And that's why companies fight so hard to make us emotional buyers and not rational ones.
I've realized since I canceled Amazon Prime, I've spent so much less money. Like not even just on the fee, because it's like $160 a year to have Prime. But I have had to go out and get things, obviously. I know you can still order from it when you don't have Prime, it just takes longer. But you do have to have the $35 minimum, so I either have to wait until I have a few things that I need, and then by that time I'm usually I don't even really need that first thing I added. Or I decide that, okay, this is something I need now, and I go out to a store. And it helps me a lot because I'm not buying the little deals that I'm seeing. For example, there was a really cute little pajama set for my daughter that was $8. Oh my gosh, you could buy it right now. But I didn't have anything else I needed to buy, and I didn't really need it, and I don't have Prime. So I was no, I'm not going to buy it. Normally I would have totally bought that. And even now, I've been wanting new tennis shoes, and normally I would have bought several pairs knowing that I can return them. But I don't have that option right now, and I just am kind of anti doing that anyways because I know it's so bad for the environment and stuff. So now I got to take my little happy ass to stores, try them on. If I don't like it, I got to wait until I have enough time to go to another store. And it's just there's something charming about it. There's something nice about not having the instant gratification. Then once I actually get the thing I want, it feels extra good. And I waited for it and I didn't buy a bunch of crap that I didn't need in the meantime. And I don't know, I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah, it kind of brings you back to when we didn't have all of these conveniences. So you actually get the experience of going into a store and feeling the feels. That all feels great. It's kind of like going to the movie theaters versus just watching the movie on your couch. You get to enjoy the experience. And so I feel that's the charm she's talking about. I completely understand. But I feel with some people, with a lot of us, we don't want to stand on the long lines. We don't want to wait and possibly not see the thing that we're looking for and have to go to a different store and spend all this time just getting exhausted trying to find whatever it is we're looking for. I find that supporting small businesses or local shops would actually give you a better quality product than what you probably would have gotten online at Amazon or even Temu. So that's just something that I've noticed as a shopper as well. And here's the proof. This woman canceled her Amazon Prime membership and suddenly every impulse to buy became an actual decision again. And that's how easy spending has become engineered.
Here's 2 reasons why I quit Amazon Prime as someone who's trying to be more mindful about their consumerism. First, it's really helped in curbing impulse spending and minimizing unnecessary clutter from piling up in my home. I think with the free shipping on any order, it was almost like having a VIP access to constant shopping temptation. Those buy now buttons with free shipping on any order, even if the thing is $4 or $5, make it way too easy to impulse buy. And I think being forced to pay for shipping does force you to slow down and really think about if you want or need that item. One thing thing to note is that Amazon does give free shipping for orders over $35. And so what I do now is if I want something, I add it to my cart and then wait to add more things over time to reach that $35 minimum. And that usually gives me enough time to reflect, change my mind if I need to, or confirm I actually do want or need that item. I'll give you an example. It took me about 2 weeks to fill my Amazon cart to reach the $35 minimum for free shipping on my last order. I had this hair wax in my cart that I thought I needed, and during the 2 weeks, I realized I actually didn't want that item anymore, and I removed it from my cart. The next reason is it also forces me to be more intentional about supporting my local economy, local businesses, small businesses. Generally, if I see a small business is selling something on Amazon that I want, I usually try to see if I can order directly from the business, as it usually means less fees that they have to fork over to Amazon. I've also noticed that a lot of the stuff I was adding to my Amazon cart in the past would be like household essentials, like batteries, water filter replacements, and other things that I can usually get from the grocery stores that I'm already going to each week, like H-E-B or Costco. This is a much better option from an environmental standpoint as well, because it means fewer boxes and trucks on the road that are needed for transport.
So it took her 2 weeks to realize that she didn't really want what she almost bought. And so that delay that she experienced was actually the difference between emotional and intentional spending. So that's where the system thrives, on speed, convenience, and impulse buying. Okay, so now let's talk about the cultural side of all of this. The trend that perfectly captures how we justify it all: girl math.
Put a finger down. Amazon edition. Put a finger down if you brought something from Amazon today. Put a finger down if you brought something from Amazon this week. Put a finger down if you would rather order from Amazon and wait 2 days than to go to the store and get it the same day. Put a finger down if you ordered something from Amazon simply because you saw it on TikTok. Put a finger down if you have Amazon Prime. Put a finger down if you ordered something from Amazon that you absolutely did not need. You just order it because it's from Amazon.
So I love this. It's absolutely hilarious, but we have all done it. You know, that mental gymnastics that makes overspending feel like, it makes sense. But girl math is not just a joke. It's a financial mindset. And I've done it before, like I mentioned, where ordering from, my favorite taco spot down the street, which racks up to $30 on DoorDash, it makes sense because, even though I'm using my debit card to spend that money, I do have $30 in my wallet. So it equals out, right? I mean, that makes sense, right? This woman said it out loud that she actually feels withdrawal when she does not buy something on Amazon. So that's not a lack of discipline. That's more so dopamine-driven marketing that is doing exactly what it was designed to do.
Okay, this may sound extremely weird, but I think I have an Amazon addiction. Like, if I haven't ordered anything from Amazon, I feel like I'm going through withdrawals. Like, I look at my cart or my saved items like, okay, I just want to buy something. I don't know, it's something about getting an Amazon package in the mail that just makes me feel good inside. And I just want to know if I was the only one. Like, I'm just about to order something just because. I'm like, I haven't had an Amazon order in a while. It may have been like 2 weeks, but it's just crazy how certain things can literally become a part of your life, your lifestyle. And it's almost like you don't even want to go without it. My brother was saying how Amazon is like the adult ice cream truck. Like how we all get real excited when we see Amazon package, and I haven't been excited because I haven't been ordering nothing. Am I the only one that feels like this? Because this is crazy.
I get it. I love how she referred to Amazon being like the adult ice cream truck. Like, how many times have you ordered something on Amazon and you know that it's going to take like 24 hours? But yet you keep refreshing like the tracking to see where it is and how far it is from your home. Like, yeah, it's something about it just makes us adults feel so happy. I know for a fact it's not always Amazon, but anything I might order, even if it's at, say, the Walmart app and I ordered it to deliver. Even if I ordered something as simple as, I don't know, batteries or, diapers or something just very simple that is needed for the house. I am looking at the app like it's something exciting coming, but in reality, it's just the normal things that we need in order to upkeep and so forth. So it kind of feels, yeah, it feels like a rush of dopamine, even if the thing that you're waiting on is not that extravagant. Just the fact that you're getting something new just makes you feel really excited about it, and it gives you that rush of energy. And this one basically nailed it, that we can't even scroll in peace anymore online without someone trying to sell us something. We've turned entertainment into advertising.
I don't know what it's called, maybe consumer fatigue, I don't know, but I have it. I am so tired of everyone trying to sell me something constantly on this app, on social media, but especially on this here app. I kid you not, I just opened my TikTok. The first 4 scrolls were orange cart. Mind you, I started screen recording. Then when I started screen recording, I saw it was like at least 10 swipes were orange cart. 80% of my time. I'm literally begging. Hello everyone. We're gonna try the fake windows. So you already know I'm no longer living. Is it painter or shark? As someone who cooks for real, I know them. These are for the girls that get cold in 2.2 seconds. When I go out, I only take one. I'm literally not trying to be one of those nurses that eat their own back.
We could just launch a brand.
You're not into jackets that needs up. We all in the back of the day. I just got word that this might be the last. And I just hate how literally everything is ruined by capitalism, because it's just like, I want to come on this app and laugh, maybe learn something, but I don't want to be bombarded with constant ads. And it's to the point where I don't even mind the ads that just say, hey, this is an ad for this product, and it says like sponsored. But there's nothing I hate more than the ads that are trying to be disguised as genuine content. I don't want to see that shit. Don't try to make me think that this is genuine content and you're trying to push something on me so hard. I know people have brand deals or whatever, but the ads where it's just like feeding into this excessive consumerism, it drives me nuts. These people with a whole bunch of shit that they don't need, trying to...
Yeah, I get it. You know, you're just scrolling and just trying to enjoy entertainment. But the thing is, people use social media now as well for income, which I understand because I do the same. But on TikTok, you can also create a TikTok shop. And so anything that somebody might be using, they are able to just plug that into their store and get a commission. So that's why we're seeing a whole lot of this as well. It is very annoying because it just breaks the community aspect of social media. You don't feel as, you know, like genuinely included. You just feel like you're being talked at, not to. So I totally get it. You just want to be entertained, or, you know, just keep your mind off of money completely.
Stop trying to sell me. Stop trying to sell me. Every time I see that orange cart at the bottom of your screen, I'm swiping the off. I'm not watching that video. I'm not engaging with that video. I don't give a Stop trying to sell me. It's gotten to the point where every thing, you can't watch a show, you can't watch a movie, you can't scroll the internet, you can't even watch TikToks, you can't go on no social media without y'all trying to constantly sell me some. Like, have you seen the economy struggling, but all y'all care about is advertisements, 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 advertisements. Don't nobody want to buy that. If I wanted to buy it, guess what? I would have bought it off fucking Amazon or fucking Temu, you dumbass. Quit trying to sell. Everybody trying to sell shit. And I get it. I get it. You want to capitalize off of your platform, or maybe make some commission from the fucking money so you can get some bread. But goddamn, like, stop trying to sell me shit. This shit's supposed to be for entertainment.
So he has had enough, and honestly, I mean, can you blame him? Every swipe is a new pitch. And so that's not community, but that's more so consumer conditioning. And let's just talk about when you say something in the proximity of your phone, how all of a sudden, when you open up a social media app, you see the advertisement of the same thing that you were talking about. Let me know if you have experienced that down below, because I sure have.
I don't shop at places like Amazon anymore, because when I used to shop places like H&M, Zara, Amazon Fashion, I got really, really caught up in a cycle of overconsumption, and I was just buying things to buy things, and it was fun sort of like in the moment, but then I was always left with the feeling of like, I have nothing to wear, I need something new, I don't feel perfectly on trend, and it really enables this like aesthetically driven consumption that like didn't actually make me happy or make me feel good or reflect my values or reflect like the real lifestyle that I wanted to live. And so I stopped.
And that's the psychological trap, that we start believing that not buying makes us somehow irrelevant. That's not shopping. That's giving social manipulation. So what happens when people wake up and stop playing along? So we're seeing it already, that people are walking away, they're quitting their Amazon Prime memberships, they're refusing to play the game, and they are dropping it all completely.
How do I stop the urge to spend all my money? As soon as I see a paycheck hit my bank account, I'm literally like, okay, I need to buy a new pair of Uggs. I need to get the Hatch alarm. I need to get like 10 matching set pajamas. I need a new pair of sneakers. I need to get these jeans I've been looking at. And then I need to get an apartment. I need to get all these decorations for my car. Maybe I should get some decor for my office. Maybe I should just spend all my money. And then I'm like, no, I want to go out. I want to go get dinner. I want to use this money for experience. Maybe put it in a savings so I can travel later on. But then like, there's so many thoughts in my head of all these things that I want. And then it just makes me feel bad because I don't have enough money for all of these things. And then I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get rich so I can live comfortably? But I'm already living comfortably. Like, I just need to be more grateful for where I'm at and what I have and what I'm doing. But it's just, this consumerism mindset is taking over.
She's absolutely right. Once we just start being content with what we have, we won't feel the urge to keep spending. Or if we're just content with the life that we have, we won't feel like we need to, I don't know, get a dopamine rush and start shopping and buying up things that we don't need. She's absolutely right. I've been trying my best to keep that mindset about everything, really and truly, but bringing my mind to a place of gratitude for everything that I have and not feeling the need to add more on top of that, but just being grateful for the simple things that I've got. So this shows how deep that the conditioning runs, that our brains basically associate payday with spending and not saving. And I'm going to raise my hand and be honest here, because this is one of my toxic traits, that the moment that I see a little extra money, in the account, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not thinking about savings at that point. I'm thinking about home deco, okay? Suddenly I need new patio lights, a cozy throw blanket, candles, all things to make the home feel more, comfortable, even though it is already. And then of course the logic does hit me like, girl, be honest. And the funny part is that my 4-year-old does the same exact thing. Like, he'll be watching TV, he'll see an advertisement, a show, a toy, or some random gadget on YouTube Kids. And then he starts asking his dad and I to buy him those things. And it can be like 10 million things that he'll name us within one given day. And then it's like, wow, consumerism really does start off young. And that's how it gets us. And it keeps us in a cycle continuing over and over again.
Y'all ever bought something online and you wish that literally as soon as it says confirmation, like order confirmation, you wish that you could cancel it, but you know that when you actually get the delivery, you're going to be happy as hell? It's just that initial subtraction out of your account hits. It hits in a way that I don't like. I need this to happen in somebody else's account. It can't keep happening in my account. It's always happening in my account. Like, this is the worst thing about being fucking single. Everything is on me. Everything is on me. Everything is on me. And I got it, but shit, I'm expensive. I'm fucking expensive and I'm tired of it. Like, this needs to be coming out of somebody else's bank account. Like, the way I just spent this bread. And I know I'm going to be happy, guys. I'm going to be happy when it comes back. Like, when it actually comes and it's delivered and I get to try it and I get to wear it and it's mine. But right now... Oh, why did I spend that much? Why did I spend that money? Why did I spend that money? I spent it because I wanted to. It's just, I really need to spend somebody else's. I need to spend somebody else's. I can't keep spending my money. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. So I think I need to start dating again. Like, I actually have to get in a relationship so there's somebody who can spend money on me. I'll spend money on you too. I can't keep doing this to myself.
I get it. You want to spend somebody else's money. It just puts you back in the place where you were a child and your parents paid for everything. So you just want someone else to have to pay so that it doesn't feel like it's coming out of your responsibility, right? It was so much more fun shopping when other people were paying the bill, or going out to eat when other people were covering it. I get it. So she's caught up in the loop of regret, hope, repeat. And so that's the emotional cycle that corporations are counting on. And this is the irony of modern consumerism, that we know it's absolutely ridiculous, but we still participate because, well, TikTok made me buy it, right? So when people start stepping out of that loop, what happens next? The pushback is growing that people are decluttering, they're deleting their Amazon Prime, they are finding peace in not spending money.
I'm going to say something controversial, and I really don't care to hear your opinion about it, but I think the Labubu, the Lafufu, whatever it is, trend is one of the dumbest ones I've seen in a while. And yes, I know I can't do much talking because I'm a Disney adult. I have like an ear headband collection behind me and a Disney Loungefly collection. But the Labubus to me just look like trolls. I feel like people put them on their bags incessantly and they use them as bag charms. And I one time saw a bag that had like 6 or 7 of them on there, and I was like, this is terrible. Now for me, you guys may think that the Disney headband and the Disney backpacks are cringy, and I think they're the cream of the crop. So this is just my unwarranted opinion, unasked for opinion. But I just want to know, am I the only one that thinks that these Labubus are strange? Am I the only one who can't get on trend with them? Am I the only one that would not put them anywhere in my house or on a bag charm? I'm sorry. I just think they're ugly and not worth any amount of money.
What is this Labubu? I'm sure you guys know, but I'm looking for the first time right now. Let me see. Labubu. 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 Oh, yeah, they do look a little strange, don't they? They look like kind of like a Japanese character. Yeah, they do look like trolls, don't they? They look kind of, why do they have that evil look on their face? Back in the day in the 90s, we were all about the trolls and collecting trolls. So this might be kind of the equivalent to the trolls trend, but in 2025. So I get it. And how many of you guys also collected Gigapets, right? And oh gosh, I forgot the other name, but we had Gigapets, and people collected Gigapets. They put them on their keychains, on their backpacks. So I think every generation just has something that they like to collect, and that just leans more into our talk on consumerism and how these things just stack up in our homes just because we feel like we need to keep up with the trends, or we feel like we're missing out on something. And I know for a fact with the Gigapets, I used to go crazy begging my parents for a Gigapet because I saw all my friends, everyone had a Gigapet. Everyone had Tamagotchi, I think it's called Tamagotchi. Everyone had a Tamagotchi, a Gigapet. They had, full keychains. And I just felt so left out. So one day I finally got one, and I was so excited about that. And of course, every time that I would go to school, the Gigapet ended up dying because I didn't feed it food. But I love that thing to pieces. And so, yeah, this is probably the equivalent of the Gigapets and the trolls that we had back in the day. Let me know down below if you had a Gigapet, a troll, a Tamagotchi, or anything that was in your generation that people just tended to collect up. Let us know down below so we know we're not crazy out here.
So do you ever think the more stuff we have in America, like the more miserable we get, like the more stuff we need in our house, the more stuff we need in our life, a car, etc., just the less healthy we are, the less happy we are? I think of this because we have like crazy statistics in the United States with our health, with depression, like it's at an all-time high.
The more stuff we have, the more we need to upkeep these stuff. You buy a new car, you have to upkeep it. You have to get it maintained. You have to keep up with the payments. Everything that concerns that new car, it wears off very quickly. That high that we get when we get new things. You buy a brand new home, now you have to upkeep that home. And so that also kind of contributes to the exhaustion that we tend to feel, and the depression because of the trap that now we have to keep these things running and keep them upkeep, right? And that kind of takes away from our finances as well, because the upkeep is kind of like a life subscription. And we talked about subscriptions in the last video, but we mentioned before, and it is true in this video too, that life just feels like an entire subscription of things that we have to keep paying for over and over and over again. And so that brings us more headache, frustration, and like she mentioned, depression. So new things don't always mean that you'll be happy, but it more so means that you have to now be more responsible to keep those things in a good condition.
Or lower even 30 years ago. I follow this woman that lives in Uganda, and she's like this beautiful woman, has like this really nice voice. I follow her on TikTok, and she just talks about how much she loves living in Uganda, and she shows her huts that they live in, and they have basically nothing inside. Like, they're empty huts, they're really small, they have a mat to sleep with, and they have like one little drawer that has all their belongings, and it's all stuff that's handmade, and another drawer with clothes, and that's it. And I look at her, and she's not eating any processed food. Everything is grown from the ground, and she literally looks beautiful. Like, her skin is glowing, her eyes are super white and beautiful, and she's just like smiling and peaceful. I know this isn't everybody's experience, but I'm like, that's interesting. Like, they have nothing, and she just like radiates beauty from the inside. But then I think of like cultures like Italian, you know, every time I go to Italy, I am struck with how much less they live with, many times because their homes are much smaller and they simply could never have the stuff that we have. But I also get a glimpse and see how you don't need bigger and more to be happier. For example, around a dinner table in Italy, they'll often, in a small house by American standards or even a small apartment, fit 10 people around a table, and it'll be the best meal you've ever had. You'll sit at the table for like twice or 3 times as long as you ever would in the United States, and they've maybe had that table for 30 years, or it certainly is in a small house, whereas in America we'd be like, oh, we need to get a bigger house, I need this layout. And of course there's people not happy in Italy, of course, but they're not top of the list for depression like America is. From a health standpoint, we look at those Mediterranean cultures for their health and wellness, and it's like, what's one thing that we do totally different than them? Like, well, extreme consumerism, this never-ending need to have more and more mixed with the packaged food, which all ties into it. And again, I know it's not everybody, but then you see this like woman from Uganda who's literally radiating beauty from the inside, and she has nothing, materialistically speaking, and she's calm and serene, and you're like, that's what we're supposed to be like, you know?
I mean, she said it best, that the more stuff we have, the less happy that we become. We traded contentment for consumption. I mean, even shopping itself has lost its fun. So what used to be a fun Saturday out now feels like some kind of a chore, because we're realizing more and more that that in-store high does not last very long.
Honestly, shopping for clothes nowadays is just not an enjoyable experience. I feel like when I was younger and a teenager, I used to like going to the mall, looking for clothes, all that good stuff. But like now, it just seems too daunting for me. Like the whole idea of it, I just, like I was going to go out today and I was going to look around a few stores, see if I could find like a cute little outfit. But I was just like, I don't feel like walking in the store, walking around, looking for clothes, and I got to try the clothes on. Hopefully the clothes fit. They don't fit, then I got to start over, look for something else. And then if I don't find anything in that one store, I got to go to another store and see if I can find anything. And then I also just live in like a freaking food desert, closed store desert. So it's like not a lot of stuff around here. Literally they just have like a Target, Walmart. We used to have a Rainbow, but Rainbow got shut down. So honestly, at this point, I don't even feel like I would even be able to find a cute outfit for real. So I'm just gonna put something together in my closet at this point, because I just don't have the patience for it anymore. It's not fun anymore. It used to be fun. It used to be an enjoyable experience to go shopping and stuff, but now it's just daunting as shit. Like, I just, nothing about it is even exciting anymore.
And maybe that's the reset that we needed all along, because the future of financial freedom is not about getting more and more, but it's more about needing less. Toxic consumerism has sold us the dream that happiness can be financed, but more Americans are realizing that the real ROI is peace. So here's a question for you guys, and let's talk about it in the comments. With everything that's going on as of recent, have you noticed that your spending habits have changed? Let us know down below. I would love to know and continue the conversation with you guys down below. And at this point, it's not just about budgeting, but it's more about financial freedom from a system that is built on exhaustion. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and like this video, share it with a friend that you know could use this information, someone who has been spending a little too much and needs a little drawback. You know, we could all use a little drawback sometimes from our friends and family members that love us very much. And subscribe for the next part of this series that's coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and we will chat down below and see each other in the next video.